final stretches over in Scotland. Of course, Rangers are still unbeaten. That's the main talking point left of the season. Can they do it? Will they do it? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another Premiership show today. We're taking a look at Matchday over in the Scottish Premiership, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, where the heck have you been, boys? Smash the old subscribe button to get your bang up to date with all things the Scottish Premiership related, football related, Blackburn related. We've got it all here under one rooski. That's right, of course. A lot of eyes have been going on, of course, with the Scottish Cup recently. Of course, the Scottish Premiership has taken a back seat, but that comes back to the fore, of course, this weekend, or actually midweek. Big games on, of course, especially in the eyes of Rangers trying to go the season unbeaten. Can they do it over the next hurdle? We'll get into that in a minute. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. Who are the VIPs? I'm talking about the Patreons for supporting the channel, and I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you for your continued support. If you're interested in joining those band of men and women, simple as pie, just go to that link down there, and of course, hop on over, and you can become the latest member of the Patreon gang, become one of my best mates for life. That's right. But anyway, let's get cracking then, shall we? Take a look at how we got on last time around. Hopefully, I've got these all queued up. Let's kick it all off with the top end, I think. It was Hibs over against St Johnstone, ended up as a 1-0 win for St Johnstone, who are on a really good bit of form right now. Glenn Middleton given the goal for St Johnstone. Actually, I'm the 2-2 win myself for Hibs. Meanwhile, Livingston did lose to Aberdeen as well. Colin Hendry on the score sheet for Aberdeen. Ryan Hedges also for the visitors on this one. J. Emmanuel Thomas getting the goal for Livingston, but again, not good enough in the end. Of course, the big one, Rangers did smash bash Celtic 4-1 win in the end. Kimaru for the race. Alfredo Morelos and Jermaine Defoe on the score sheet for Rangers. Son Edward on the score sheet for Celtic. Callum McGregor got himself sent off. Meanwhile, of course, over in the bottom section, Dundee United did lose to Ross County 2-0 in the end. Goals from Jordan White on the score sheet, Alex Eviaki, Okavagitavati, whatever his name is, getting the goals for Ross County in a 2-0 win for them. Of course, big win as well at the foot of the table. Goodness gracious me. Kicking off further, excuse me, actually I went a 2-1 win myself. Motherwell did lose to Kilmarnock 2-0 win in the end. Goals for, on this one, Motherwell, Devante Cole on score sheet, Stephen O'Donnell as well, giving Motherwell the win. And finally, St Mirren did lose to Hamilton Academical to make it very hairy at the end of it. Of course, Ross Callaghan on score sheet, David Moyo as well in a 2-1 win. I'll show you the table, the real table, in a minute. Of course, these is your picks. Let's show you what you guys did. Fernando Jose Casega did shite. Yannick Cypher also did good. Visselong did poop. Game Chai also did shocker. Moss Paternity also had a nightmare. Irish Shig also did poop. Deepak the Great didn't do great. Ryan C also did shocker. Ultra Omer, fair flow to you, but of course you did poo as well. Ojo 52 also did poo. Escaville also did poo, and Matt Gunner did okay. Russell Foss not too shabby, but of course he did poo. Yannick Buss also did okay. Tom Stenador did bits as well. Well done to you. You did bits of poo. Mark Chapman also did crap. Johnstone FC also did shite, and Shane O'Donnell also had a nightmare. But what's that done to the overall table? We'll have a look at it in a minute. This is this week's. Look at all you guys with ones. I'm not even going to say your names because it's all been poor. As for Yannick Zyfield and Yannick Bustler with Matt Gunner kicking ass and taking names with a three-piece. A three-piece sweet indeed. 3 of yours, 3 as well. The overall table though looks like this. We have an outright leader and he's been there for a while. It's Shane O'Donnell with a 6-point clearance at the moment with I think 12 points left of the season. So realistically, we're all the way down to Mark Chapman and above, still in the mix for title winners. I've been looking at getting the merchandise out to you guys, which will be a t-shirt, or if you want a gift card in place of the t-shirt, we'll talk about that later. I'm not guaranteed. I'm trying to find the logistics, of course. We can talk about that. I would like to give the t-shirts out, but we will see. Anyway, let's take a look at the table. Of course, here it is right here, right now. This is the skinny right here, right now. Of course, Rangers are top. They'll be top no matter what. Hibs are in 3rd spot at the moment, just 3 points over Aberdeen. Big game coming up for them this week. Of course, European spot on the line there. As for the foot of the table, is anyone's guess. Ross County, Kilmarnock or Hamilton could go down. It's that simple. 3 teams are in it. One will go down. One will go into the playoff as well. So, of course, we'll keep an eye on that as that progresses. So these are, of course, the penultimate games heading into this final week. Of course, this time next week will be the end of the season. Of course, Wednesday these games, and then of course we'll come back again for the final games which take place this weekend. So let's kick it all off with Livingston up against Rangers, of course. We played each other the last 6, of course, 5 wins for Rangers, nothing for Livingston, 1 draw, of course, last round in Livingston. In fact, they actually played each other already 3 times this season. Of course, the first time in Livingston was a 0-0 draw back in August. Of course, nothing to report there. However, they also played each other once again in Livingston, of course, back in March. It was a 1-0 win for Rangers. Meanwhile, earlier in the campaign, they also played each other in Glasgow. It was a 2-0 win for Rangers Rangers as well. So unbeaten in the last 3 and also unbeaten in the last 6. Rangers are winning 24 of the last 28 matches in the Premiership. They also kept clean sheet in 6 of the last matches against Livingston. So yeah, that's a good stat right there. So Livingston haven't scored against Rangers in the last 6. Of course, heading into this, Rangers just one blip in the past 6 games. That one blip was a defeat to St Johnstone in the Scottish Cup, which of course they go to the final. However, Livingston coming to 4 defeats on the spin and looking very, very wobbly as well. Bad time to hit bad form. Of course, the bookies odds on this one, we have Livingston 11-2 for the ratio, 10-3 is your draw, 2-1 is your Rangers. That's 2-1 on. Of course, I don't know what's going to happen in the table. It's a bit weird. Of course, a win for Rangers will be they'll keep that unbeaten run going into the final game of the season. As for Livingston, they are 6th in this split table, but a win for them, they can move up to 5th with the W, depending on what goes on with St Johnstone. Got to go with a 2-0 win for Rangers on this one to keep on keeping on, get the win, and of course move over to that final game of the season. Next up, of course, we have Celtic. They're going to be taking on, of course, St Johnstone. Of course, in the Scottish final, they've actually got 2 finals to look forward to. I don't think, did they win it already? I think they already won it, didn't they? The Scottish League Cup. But anyway, let's take a look at, of course, the last 6 between 2 sides play each other. 5 wins out of those last 6. 1 draw for St Johnstone. No wins for them. Heading into this one, they play each other in Glasgow back in December. It was a 1-1 draw. Of course, goals on that one. I'll give it to you right here, right now, if I can fire it up. Christopher Kane on the score sheet for the Super Jays. Mohamed El Nouzi on the score sheet for Celtic as well. Celtic, though, winning 10 of the last 11 matches against St Johnstone in all competitions. Celtic actually scored at least 2 goals in 8 of the last 10 matches against St Johnstone as well. Heading into this, Super Jays unbeaten the last 5, picking up 4 wins and a draw to boot. As for Celtic, without a win in 3, losing to Rangers twice, and also picking up a draw against Aberdeen. They've just fallen off the face of the earth, haven't they? Of course, the bookies odds on this one, 94 on is your Celtic, 3-1 is your 52 is your Super Jays. Of course, a win for St Johnstone in 5th. They could go, they could close it in on 4th. It's too late for that movement. But of course, a win for them will give them the belief that they'll finish above Livingston in the end. I will get, though, a win for Celtic on this one again. It'll be as you were, though, for Livingston and St Johnstone in the table. Big game, though, of course, over at Pittodrie. It'll be Aberdeen up against Hibs, of course. Played for the last 6. It's been 3 wins for Aberdeen, 2 wins for Hibs, 1 draw. Last round, Pittodrie was a 2-0 win for Aberdeen back in November 2020. Scott Wright, Sam Cosgrove on the score sheet, giving the Dons the win. As for Aberdeen, though, they did play each other a couple of times this season in Easter Road. They lost the first one back in August. It was a 1-0 win for Aberdeen, but they also won. The Hibs did win Easter Road back in February. It was a 2-0 win, of course. Aberdeen, though, defeated in the last 9 home matches against Hibs. Last 9 home matches against Hibs. I had to read that twice. However, heading into this, Hibs coming into this winning 4 of the past 5. They did lose to Super Jays in the Scottish Cup, in the Scottish Premier League, sorry, but they did bounce back with a win against Dundee United to make the Scottish final as well. As for the hosts, Aberdeen just 1 win in 3 games. That 1 win was against St Livingston. Was against Livingston just the other day. I'm all over the place on this one. Of course, bookies odds on this one. Aberdeen 11-8 for the ratio. 20% is your draw. 20% is also your Hibs. Of course, a win for Hibs in 3rd. They'll probably end up being in 3rd at the end of the season. That'll put up a 6-point gap between themselves and Aberdeen. They do have a superior goal difference as well, so that'll be a big push for them. However, a win for Aberdeen will get them on level on points with Hibs, which will make the final day very, very interesting. Who will be in that illustrious 3rd spot? I've gone with a 2-1 win for Aberdeen on this one. Unfortunately, Hibs will have to do it the hard way. Next up, of course, we're going to the bottom half. It's Dundee United up against Motherwell. Of course, Motherwell are flying high, doing very, very well at the top of that bottom group. Played the last 6. It's been 4 wins for Motherwell, 1 win for Dundee United, and 1 draw. Last round, of course, at Tannadice was a 1-1 draw back in December 2020. It was on Boxing Day. Goals coming from Tony Watt, ex-Rover on the score sheet, Nicky Clark as well. They also played this quite recently at Fir Park. It was a 2-1 win for Motherwell as well. Heading into this, though, Dundee United just 3 defeats in the past 4 games, of course, in bad form. As for Motherwell, just 5 wins in the past 6 games. The only hiccup was a defeat to Hibs in the Scottish Cup. A look at the bookies odds on this one. We have what do we have on this one? Aberdeen. No, we have. Where are you? There, Dundee United 2-1 for the Richie. 7-5 is your Motherwell. 11-5 is your draw. Of course, Dundee United are 3rd at the moment in the old relegation round, or the bottom half of it. Over for them in 3rd. They could actually go top of the relegation round. As for Motherwell, they are top, and they'll be top if they get the W. I think Dundee United will get this one with a 1-0 win over Motherwell in the end. Kicking off forward is Kilmarnock up against St Mirren now. Played for the last 6. 3 wins for St Mirren, 2 for Kilmarnock, and 1 draw. Last round, of course, in Kilmarnock, in the league, it was a 1-1 draw back in January 2021. Of course, goal scorers on the day, Daniel Whitehall and Scottish Danny Rogers with a big for OG, giving St Mirren a share of the spoils. However, Kilmarnock come into this undefeated in the last 9 home matches against St Mirren in all comps. However, both sides come into this back-to-back defeats for them, both in the Scottish Prem and also in the Scottish Cup. Not a good couple of games. Of course, look at the bookies odds on this one. Kilmarnock are 20-19 on for the victory, 5-2-ish draw. 11-4 is your St Mirren. St Mirren actually doing very well, second in the bottom half of the table. Of course, a win for them, they could go top. As for Kilmarnock, they're still in that relegation concern, but a win for them, they can move up to 4th in the end, above Ross County, depending on what goes on with them in their final game. I've gone with a win on this one for Kilmarnock to give a massive win for them, as of course the season is coming to a close. And finally, big one at the foot of the table, it is Ross County up against Hamilton Academical. They played for the last 6. It's been 3 wins to Ross County, 2 for Hamilton, 1 draw. Last round in Ross County was a 2-0 win for Hamilton back in December 2020. Of course, goals coming from Ross Callaghan, Scott Martin as well. They also played each other quite recently in February. It was a 2-1 win for Ross County in Hamilton. So these two sides have exchanged blows quite recently. But they're both coming to this on the back of wins. Of course, Hamilton just beat St Mirren just the other day. And Ross County also beat Dundee United, also the last fixture in the league. Of course, look at the bookies odds. Even Stevens to Ross County, 40-5 is your Hamilton, 23-10 is your draw. Hamilton actually a 6th. That is bottom of the whole shenanigans. But a win for them, they can move up to 4th. As for Ross County, they are in 4th. A win for them, they would probably put them safe as houses. I've gone with a 1-0 with Hamilton to make it very, very interesting on the final day, my friends. And that is what I'm going to have to leave it to you. Of course, be sure to give the video some love and smash the old thumbs up, smash the old subscribe. We're going to do it all again for the final day. Of course, these games take place on Wednesday. We'll be back again probably Thursday as the final games wrap up on the weekend. Of course, be sure to give the video some love and smash the old thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Of course, be sure to check out the old links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and again on Discord as well. New Discord fired up. It's open to everybody, so get yourself stuck in. The stuff should be on the screen right here, right now. And also check out the link down below to patreon.com/Roverseas to support channel in another way. Big summer ahead. Hopefully you can join me watching the Euros. Scotland are in action, of course. We'll look forward to that. But until then, I'll see you all soon for the next.